Alright. What's up again, me and foot me and future me and virtual me and stuff. We just had a rainstorm and so it cooled off, but it's gonna get warmer again. It's gonna get muggy again and everything. So yeah. And I tried to lay down and take a nap, but that didn't really go as planned. Yeah. Anyways, it's Sunday, and so I just wanted to say that, well, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a segue or intro. So here we go. How did I get to where? I don't know. I was just thinking that because I was thinking like again about the churches that I've been to and the services that I've been to. They're just weird and bad in a lot of ways, and I was thinking about the Gospels, the songs that I heard sung. I was just like, they're bad. And it's like, yeah, the reason pop music and other music are so prevalent is because gospels are horrible. They are just like next level bad. Like they're not even like, it's not even that they're like depressing or anything like that. It's just they're like, they got nothing. It's like they don't do anything, and I mean, like even trying to describe them as bad is just like I can't even remember them enough to describe how it was just bad. Like, I just blacked them out. Like, just like, ugh, whatever. So there's so it's just like, oh, whatever. Not even worth doing. If they're gonna be that bad, you might as well just not even have them in the service. I think churches should be just like talking about like how you should help the local community then. What you want to do, who needs to be helped and stuff or something like that. Like this family's going through a rough time and we're gonna raise funds for this and this. Here's why, and there you go. Something, I don't know. It's reading from scripture and their gospels, and it's just like all that is like a big snooze fest. And doing that week after week is just blah. Anyways. So, yeah. And my suggestion is, my suggestion also is, if if it really took God 6 days to make everything, and on the seventh day God rested. Then the best way to have church and honor God on the seventh day is to just go to church. Go to church on the seventh day and have church be a party. And and just be you and the congregation, and have there be games and stuff. And back when Bibles were not available everywhere and no one could read, sure, reading passages, reading scripture was reasonable and stuff. So everyone can read now, and the Bibles are everywhere, so you don't need to do that. So you just cut that out everywhere and let everyone read a Bible if they want to, which it's pointless because it's dumb and it's archaic and it's arcane. So you just don't need that anymore. And there's glaring, obvious flaws in there everywhere. So why don't you just have a party and have games and everything for everybody, and just get your rest on every week. And wouldn't that be just a better way to honor? Because it used to be a six-day work week. Actually, it used to be a 7-day work week for people. And then we got unions, and we cut it down to 5. And if we hadn't weakened unions by now, we would have had a 4-day work week with higher wages and benefits, but whatever. But yeah, every Sunday should just be a carnival at church. With games and stuff for the kiddies. And weather permitting, a cookout for everybody. And hopefully you can have alcohol there, but there's probably people that you would have to watch for that. Again, hopefully people will be able to self-modulate. I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't want to do that in certain areas where everybody takes a vehicle. But, that would be up to you. In the rural South, if everybody had a drink in church, Sundays would start to look like it would start to seem like every Sunday is St. Patty's Day. Unless we had some very, very started to institute some very good levels of self-control while we were at service. At the weekly congregation with each other. Of course, we could just get a few buses, pick everybody up on the bus and take everybody home on the bus at the end of the day. you know. Everybody get on the bus. We're going to church. Church starts. Church services start at noon or start at 11 o'clock, and the bus route starts at 9. Get your shit on the bus. You know, if you, or, you know, call the church van service. If you want to be drinking and you don't want to be responsible for driving home or having a designated driver or something. Because the cookout goes from 10 to 10, motherfucker. If you're not drinking, then drive your car. If you are drinking and you want someone to drive you home, put your name on the van list. And also, if you are drinking, don't bring your gun. Check your firearms and your knives at your house. So, yeah. That would be my church. It would be no scripture, just a lot of fun every service. Everybody getting together and just a weekly party. Just weekly party. No pastor, no head doing nothing. Just a weekly party. We'd have a band. We'd have multiple bands, but you know, rotate them or whatever. And do all that at the church. Have a cookout. And there you go. It'd be a much more fun church. Have some bouncy castles for the kiddies. I don't know. You know, I loved bouncing on trampoline when I was a kid, but you know, we never got hurt by the trampoline when we were kids, but I think that's because we realized kind of quickly how easy you could get hurt on the trampoline we called it a butt ump. It's by having one person like propel you and make you go really high, and like sometimes you would get an odd launch and you could get just a little too close to the edge, and so you know it's like that can get a little dangerous. And so yeah, it's like none of my group of friends were like suicide level risk takers, where we were like, all right, let's all 5 of us get on there at once and see if 4 of us can propel the lightest one really high or some shit like that, you know, and get them like 20 feet in the air, like do some shit like that. And yeah, that would have been like fucked up. End up breaking both legs and both arms and shit. So, yeah. Having a trampoline. I don't know how people run trampoline parks and manage to get like insurance for those trampoline parks, because damn, I see those things and I'm like, you gotta have injuries at those things like every day. Like every day you gotta have injuries at those fucking things. You gotta have people sign like fucking 10-page waivers. Yeah, I'm a complete novice. I'm not like in the service or in the circus or anything, but yeah, I can handle that. I'm like, no, you can't. You don't know what the fuck you're getting into. If you were on a trampoline with, I don't know, 12 other people that you have no idea who they are. They could have been doing this for a while. It could be their first time, and no fucking idea. You could come down and get flung in a complete, totally chaotic way and go 60 yards in a, 18-degree angle. You come down, go boom, and just like with your legs flailing and shit, and just get and it's just like, yeah, that was not the plan. All sorts of things, and your ankles are so like you can come down just a little weirder than you think you are, and all of a sudden you like bust up like cartilage and tendon and shit, and like it's like a weird kind of a sprain thing that all of a sudden you're not walking right for a month and a half. And they're not liable because you signed that fucking release form. So, if you want to try and sue them, you're gonna have to fucking get through. You're gonna have to get through a shitload of. Well, it's gonna be tough to sue them, and who knows if they have enough. If the insurance has, if it would even be worth the time and effort and the legal expense anyways. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope you like that tangent. But yeah, the church, the re-envisioned, reimagined church worship service of, let's not go to church and be bored. The day of remembrance, the day of worship, the way it's supposed to be. If it really is God's day of rest, relaxation, and vacation and everything, chill back, have a barbecue, and give your little ones some way to run around and tire themselves out while you sit back and have a beer and do that stuff and, like I said, not be bored. You know, 'cause, honoring God does not mean you know, I don't know. I don't know where it came along that it has to mean, you know, those things that it means. You know, that reading scripture. Maybe it sounds a little sacrilegious or whatever, but also that eternal bowing down your head and subservience and stuff. But that just seems a little petty, also. Like, oh, you're so great and you're so blah 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 blah. It's just like, I'm gonna worship God. Why? What's the point? You're gonna spend your life worshiping someone that's might as well just not even exist. If you're just gonna spend your life worshiping something, then you might as well not exist. You're no use to anything. If you're gonna spend your existence jerking something off, then I mean, I don't even want you here. You're not doing anything for me. You're not doing anything for each other. Go away. I mean, you're not even doing anything for the flowers. You're not helping them grow. So, how is that making anything better for anyone? Like I said, it just seems very petty. So, anyways. I gotta take a whiz. Boobs out.